This is Engadget. Here's what's happening in the world of technology. It's Thursday, February 18th. Brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. This year marks the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, and Nintendo, naturally, has a few things planned. There's no word on the Breath of the Wild sequel yet, but Nintendo is releasing The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for the Switch on July 16th. As the title gives away, it's been remastered in HD, and Nintendo has totally revamped the control scheme as well. The original game was designed for Wii and relied extensively on motion controls that Nintendo recreated with the Switch's Joy-Con controllers. But for those using a Switch Lite or people who just don't want to deal with the finicky nature of motion control, Nintendo remapped the controls to the Switch's standard control scheme. It'll use the right analog stick to allow for a variety of different sword swings. Other than these changes, it looks like the game will be a faithful recreation of the original. Whether that's a good thing or not depends on how frustrated you got with the controls of the game for the Wii. That said, it was well reviewed back in 2011, and being able to play the game with the standard Switch buttons might make it worth a shot if you haven't tried it before. To go along with the game, Nintendo is also releasing a pair of custom Joy-Con controllers that feature the iconic designs of Link's shield and the Master Sword. The game is up for pre-sale tonight on Nintendo's eShop, but the controllers won't be available until July 16th. Unfortunately, there's no word on if or when the HD remasters of The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess will hit the Switch, but given the big birthday year, it wouldn't surprise us if we heard about them sooner or later. Also in gaming, visual novels rarely made it to the US prior to the past decade and a half, so you're forgiven for not having heard of the Famicom Detective Club series. Heck, even in its home country, it was somewhat of a rarity, having only been released on the Famicom Disk System and Satellaview. But now Western audiences will get to check out all the mystery thanks to two remakes hitting the Switch this spring. Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind, were already scheduled for a Japanese release. But the odds of them making it into English were slim, making this announcement a pleasant surprise. The games have been completely rebuilt for the Switch with nicer character art, animation, and voice acting. The first game is a murder mystery involving a wealthy family in a haunted village. Oh, and you also have Amnesia. The second game takes place at a school, pitting you against ghosts and nightmares. The games will be sold separately when they hit the eShop on May 14th, and you can pre-order them today. If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
You don't have to create the latest in tech or launch a rocket to Mars to get State Farm's surprisingly great rates on car insurance. State Farm has coverage that'll meet your budget just for being you. So whether you're wireless, screen-free, solar-powered, AI, or just hanging out in VR, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.